Quick recap before we start prompt engineering. In the previous module, you built an evaluation loop around the Claude API. You generated a dataset, ran the same examples repeatedly, graded model outputs, and added exact checks when the output had to parse as code or JSON. That gave you a baseline. Baseline means the first score you keep before changing the prompt. It matters because improvement is only real when the same eval gets better. Quick pause while we are still on the recap view. If this Claude API walkthrough is helping, like and subscribe so the next lesson is easy to find. Now we use that eval loop as a workbench. Instead of asking whether an answer feels better, we will change the prompt, run the eval again, and keep the techniques that move the score. Keep that distinction in mind. Evaluation is the measuring instrument, and prompt engineering is the controlled adjustment you make after reading the measurement. In building with the Claude API, this module turns API controls into practical application behavior. Treat this as prerequisite practice for the Claude Certified Architect exam. The product goal is application-ready output. Prompt engineering here means something very specific. It is the practice of taking a prompt you already wrote and improving it so Claude produces more reliable and higher quality outputs. The important word is improving, because the course is not asking you to trust a better-sounding prompt by instinct. The loop is measurable. First, set a goal for the output. Second, write an initial prompt, even if that first attempt is weak. Third, evaluate it with the pipeline from the previous module. Fourth, apply one prompt engineering technique. Then reevaluate with the same dataset. If the score moves up and the report explains why, keep going. If it does not, you have evidence instead of guesswork. This also protects you from changing several things at once and then being unable to tell which change actually helped. The practical work happens in the updated notebook named 001 Prompting. It contains a more flexible evaluation pipeline than the one you used before because this module needs to test different prompt shapes. The key object is Prompt Evaluator. Prompt Evaluator is a helper class that wraps dataset generation, model grading, and evaluation runs. It also accepts max concurrent tasks. That value controls how many API calls happen at once. High concurrency can make the notebook feel fast, but it can also trip rate limits. The safe habit is to start low, around 3, then reduce to 2 or 1 if you see errors. The default of 1 means no concurrency at all. The completed notebook is useful later, but the learning path starts with the blank workflow, so every prompt change has a visible reason. The notebook's surface matters because real API work depends on repeatable files, visible parameters, and settings that survive beyond a single chat message. The example prompt has a concrete job: write a compact, concise one-day meal plan for a single athlete. The dataset generator needs to know what inputs each test case should contain. Those inputs are height, weight, goal, and dietary restrictions. A sample athlete might be 180 centimeters tall, weigh 75 kilograms, want to maintain weight while improving power, and be lactose intolerant. Those fields get written into dataset.json. Then each test case is interpolated into the prompt. During development, keep the number of generated cases low, usually 2 or 3, so iteration is fast. The ideal answer is not just a list of foods. It should include calories, macros, meals, and choices that respect the athlete profile. Each field is intentionally boring and concrete, because boring fields are easy to reuse in tests and easy for a grader to check. The Generate Dataset call is where the evaluator learns what kind of examples to create. The task description says the prompt should write a compact one-day meal plan for a single athlete. The prompt input spec lists the variables that matter for every case: height, weight, goal, and restrictions. The method can then create realistic combinations and save them to dataset.json. That dataset.json file is important because it freezes the comparison set. On disk, the file is named dataset.json. When the prompt changes, the test cases stay the same, so a score improvement is easier to trust. The course recommends keeping the case count small during development. 3 cases are enough to catch obvious weaknesses while still giving you quick feedback. That is the reason generated data belongs in a file instead of only living in notebook memory. Now the notebook writes the first prompt on purpose as a weak baseline. The core question is simply, what should this person eat? Then it lists the athlete's height, weight, goal, and restrictions. That is enough for Claude to understand the general topic, but not enough to control the answer. It does not say to produce a one-day plan, include calories, provide macros, or keep the plan compact. A naive prompt is still useful because it gives the eval something honest to measure. If the baseline is poor, that is not failure. It is the point of the loop. You need a rough starting prompt so later changes can show whether being clear, direct, and specific actually improves the outcome. The weakness is visible by design. The prompt contains inputs, but it does not tell Claude what a successful response must contain. The baseline is evaluated with extra criteria. Extra criteria are the requirements the grading model should keep in mind while scoring. For this meal plan task, the output should include a daily caloric total, a macronutrient breakdown, and practical meal detail. The notebook call is evaluated run_evaluation using run_prompt_ function and dataset_file set to dataset.json. After the run, the evaluator produces both a numerical score and a detailed HTML report named output.html. The report dashboard is valuable because it shows the prompt inputs, the model output, and the reasoning behind each score. A score around 2.32 out of 10 is totally fine for the first attempt. The important lesson is not that the prompt is bad. The lesson is that the report tells you exactly where the prompt failed, so the next edit can be targeted. Treat the report as your debugging view for language. It tells you which missing instruction should become the next prompt edit. With the baseline established, the workflow becomes systematic. Do not rewrite everything at once. Make one prompt change, run the same evaluation, read the same report, and decide whether the change helped. The notebook assets support that loop. The starting notebook lets you perform the work, while the completed notebook gives you a reference if you get stuck. But the central habit is not downloading files. The central habit is using evidence. The initial score and report define the problem. The next 2 techniques attack that problem from 2 directions. First, make the prompt clear and direct so Claude knows the request boundary. Then make it specific so Claude knows the output qualities and process steps that matter. This is the bridge from prompt evaluation into prompt engineering. The report creates the next action, not just the next score. The first technique is being clear and direct. The first line of a prompt matters because it sets the request boundary. Request boundary means the visible instruction that tells Claude what job it is performing before it reads the details. Clear means simple language and an explicit ask. Do not hide the assignment inside a conversational question or a long preamble. Direct means the prompt uses instructions rather than questions. Good first lines often start with action verbs: write, create, generate, summarize, classify, or extract. In this meal plan example, the model already receives athlete details. The missing piece is a first line that says exactly what output to produce. Once that first line is clear, the rest of the prompt has a stronger frame. Notice that clear and direct is not about sounding forceful. It is about removing avoidable interpretation work from the model. Here is the practical rewrite. The weak prompt asks, "What should this person eat?" That is understandable, but it is not a precise assignment. It leaves Claude to decide whether to answer conversationally, give a short recommendation, or create a full plan. The improved first line says, "Write a compact, concise one-day meal plan for this athlete." The word write gives Claude an action. Compact and concise describe the style. One-day meal plan describes the deliverable. For this athlete connects the instruction to the height, weight, goal, and restrictions that follow. This is not a huge prompt. It is a small first-line change, which is why the eval loop is useful. You can measure whether the framing alone improves performance. In product code, That same rewrite would usually live in a prompt template, so every user request gets the stronger frame. The result matters because the change is small but measurable. The weak prompt scored about 2.32. After rewriting the first line to be clear and direct, the score moved to about 3.92. That is not a perfect prompt yet. The report still has plenty to criticize, and the meal plan can still miss important nutrition details. But the improvement is meaningful because the only big idea introduced here is direct framing. Claude now gets the deliverable before the supporting fields. This is why the first line should not be treated as decoration. In an API application, that first line is often the contract between your product and the model. Clear wording creates a better default path. The lift is not the final goal, but it proves the method. A narrow edit produced a measurable movement. Being clear and direct tells Claude what job to do. Being specific tells Claude what good looks like. Without specificity, the model has to choose the output length, structure, level of detail, and sometimes even the process it should follow. The story example makes that easy to see. A prompt like write a short story about a character who discovers a hidden talent is understandable, but it is still wide open. Better prompts add guidelines or steps. Guidelines describe the qualities the final answer should have. Steps describe a process the model should follow before or while answering. Professional prompts often combine both, because clear direction starts the task, while specificity keeps the output inside the boundaries you actually need. Specificity is the moment where the prompt starts carrying domain expectations instead of hoping the model infers them. The first specificity type is output quality guidelines. These are requirements for the final response. In almost every useful prompt, you should say something about length, structure, format, or required details. For the meal plan prompt, length might mean compact and concise. Structure might mean breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. Format might mean a table or a clear section layout. Required details might include calories, macros, and dietary restrictions. Output guidelines are the safety net because they make the answer easier to use even when the problem is not especially complex. They also make evaluation easier. If the report complains that the output lacks macros or meal timing, those missing pieces can become explicit guidelines in the next prompt revision. For Claude API applications, these guidelines often become the stable part of a prompt template shared by many requests. The second specificity type is process steps. A process step tells Claude how to work through the task, not just what the final answer should look like. This is especially useful for troubleshooting, decision-making, and critical thinking tasks, where the model needs to consider constraints before answering. In the meal plan example, process steps could tell Claude to inspect the athlete's goal, account for restrictions, estimate calories, and then assemble meals. For a simple formatting task, steps may be unnecessary. But for complex problems, they reduce the chance that Claude jumps straight to a shallow answer. The practical rule is simple. Output guidelines are broadly useful, and process steps are added when the problem benefits from an ordered approach. Steps are most helpful when the answer depends on intermediate judgment, because they keep the model from skipping straight to output. When the techniques combine, the prompt starts to look like a contract. The first line is still direct. Write a compact, concise one-day meal plan for this athlete. Then the guidelines say what the final answer must include: total calories, macronutrient breakdown, dietary restrictions, practical meals, and a scannable structure. Then the steps tell Claude how to approach the work. Review the athlete profile, account for the goal and restrictions, choose meals that support that goal, and return the final plan. This is not fake code invented for decoration. It is the same kind of prompt function the notebook is evaluating. The important move is that every sentence has a job, and that job can be checked by the report. The combined prompt is longer, but it is not padded. Every line either frames the task, defines quality, or guides the process. The score jump is the payoff. After being clear and direct, the prompt reached about 3.92. After adding specificity, the score reached about 7.86. That is more than a tiny polish. It is a major improvement because Claude now has clearer success criteria. The output can be graded against calories, macros, meal structure, restrictions, and practical usefulness. This also shows why prompt engineering should stay tied to evaluation. A prompt can sound more professional without becoming better. Here, the same evaluation pipeline shows that the added guidelines and steps change the result. The model has less guesswork, the grader has more concrete expectations, and the learner has evidence that the prompt moved in the right direction. The score jump also makes review easier for a team because the reason for the prompt change is attached to evidence. Here is the selection guide to carry forward. Use output guidelines in almost every prompt. They are the default because most useful outputs need some combination of length, structure, format, and required content. Use process steps when the task is complex enough that the route matters. Troubleshooting, decision-making, planning, and critical thinking often need steps because Claude should inspect constraints before answering. In professional prompting, the two approaches often appear together. Guidelines define the destination, and steps define the route. The eval loop remains the judge. After each change, run the same cases and inspect the report. If the score rises and the answer is more useful, the technique earned its place in the prompt. When you maintain prompts over time, this decision guide prevents every prompt from growing into an unstructured checklist. That is the module arc. You started with an evaluation baseline, used it to improve the first line, then added specificity so Claude had output guidelines and process steps. The practical pattern is simple. Define the job, define what good looks like, define the process when the task is complex, and run the eval again. This is API fluency because prompt changes are treated like application changes. You make a controlled edit, test it, and keep the evidence. Next, the course moves from wording to structure. In structure with XML tags to exercise on prompting, you will learn how to separate instructions, inputs, examples, and boundaries more explicitly so longer prompts stay readable and easier to evaluate. That sets up XML tags naturally. Once prompts have multiple parts, explicit structure helps those parts stay separate.